You've probably been there, right? You ask an AI a question, and what you get back is, well, it's pretty much useless. We've all had that moment. But here's the thing, getting a great answer usually comes down to just one thing, asking the question in the right way. So that's what we're going to talk about. Let's dive into the art and science that turns those garbage answers into gold. Prompt engineering.
I mean, just look at the difference here. It's night and day. On one side, you have this super vague prompt. Give me a report about Boeing. What are you going to get? Probably something that looks like it was copied and pasted from Wikipedia, right? But then look at the other side, a super specific prompt asking for a detailed analysis for an investor audience. The output you get from that is going to be focused, detailed, and actually useful. This is the core of what we're talking about.
So here's the big takeaway. We've got to stop thinking about AI like a search engine. The real secret to unlocking its power isn't just asking simple questions. It's about giving it structured instructions. And that's exactly what we're going to break down for you, how to turn those frustrating generic responses into the sharp, actionable insights you're actually looking for. Okay, so what does one of these structured instructions actually look like? Well, it all starts with understanding the anatomy of a really effective prompt. There's a specific structure that these AI models are basically built to understand. Now, the official name for this whole thing is prompt engineering. I know it sounds super technical, right? But honestly, it's just about clear communication. It's the art of writing instructions that are so clear, so specific, that the AI basically has no choice but to give you exactly what you want. And the best part? It's a skill that literally anyone can learn. So, the best way to think about a great prompt is not as a single sentence, but more like a recipe with 5 key ingredients. First up is role. You got to tell the AI who it should be, like act as an expert copywriter. Next, the instruction. That's the what. Write 3 marketing headlines. Then you give it context, a little background on the project. Then, and this is a big one, you show it a few examples of what you like. And finally, you tell it the format you want, like a bulleted list. You put all 5 of these together, and trust me, the quality of what you get back is just going to go through the roof. All right, so now you've got the blueprint. Let's add a couple of really powerful techniques to your toolkit that you can start using like right now. First up is this idea of telling versus showing. On one hand, you have what's called zero-shot prompting. That's basically just giving a direct command with 0 examples. And you know what? For simple stuff, it's fine. But for anything more complex, or if you want a specific style, few-shot prompting is a total game changer. This is where you give the AI just 2 or 3 examples of what you want. You're essentially training it on the fly. You're not just telling it the rules, you're literally showing it what a winning play looks like. Okay, but what about really complex problems? Stuff that needs logic, like a math problem or a reasoning puzzle. For that, there's a killer technique called chain of thought prompting. The idea is simple. Instead of just asking for the final answer, you ask the AI to show its work, to literally think through the problem step by step. Doing this dramatically cuts down on mistakes, and you can actually see how it got to the answer. So how do you trigger this incredible reasoning power? You'd think it's some kind of complex code, right? Nope. It's almost unbelievably simple. For most of the big models out there, all you have to do is add one little phrase to your prompt. Let's think step by step. Seriously, that's it. It's probably the closest thing we have to a magic spell for getting smarter, more accurate answers. So we've got the core components, we've got a couple of powerful techniques. But to really make this work, you need a bit of a mindset shift. It's not about trying to write one single perfect question. It's about treating it like an engineering process. And what does that mean? It means it's a cycle. And this right here, this is the workflow that the pros use. Getting that perfect prompt is almost never a one-shot deal. It's a loop. You draft your first attempt, you test it out, you evaluate what you got back, and then you refine your prompt based on that result. And then you repeat. The absolute best results don't come from a lucky first try. They are engineered through this process of refinement. So let's wrap this up with a quick checklist of best practices. Always be specific about the format and length you want. Give the AI a role or a persona to act as. Give it enough context so it knows what's going on. Use things like triple hashtags to separate your instructions. We call those delimiters. And this one's huge. Tell the AI what you want it to do, not what you want it to avoid. For some reason, positive instructions just work way, way better. So, when you pull it all together, what have we learned? Getting amazing results from an AI isn't really about magic, although that let's think step-by-step phrase gets pretty close. It's really a method.
It's about being a clear communicator, giving specific details, and being willing to tweak and refine your approach until you get it right.
And all this leaves us with a really interesting question to think about. As AI gets woven into pretty much everything we do, at work and in our lives, is it possible that the most important tech skill of the future isn't actually coding? Could it be just clear communication? The ability to translate what's in our heads into instructions a machine can act on? That might just be the new literacy.